Hey folks, Tassy from Glasswing Greenhouse. Today we're going to talk about repotting, when you should repot, how you should repot. And in general, you want to repot every 2 to 4 years. It really depends on how fast your plant is growing. You want to go up in size a couple inches, so from like a 4-inch pot go to a 6-inch, a 6-inch to an 8-inch, and so forth. And right now it's spring, so it's the ideal time to repot your plants before they get into the active growing season, which is usually April through October. It just helps give the plant a little more room to grow, lets the roots stretch out, and makes them a lot happier. So there are a few signs you should look for when you determine if your plant needs to get repotted. Number 1, the roots. You might see roots coming out the bottom of the pot, or even roots coming out the top of the pot. It really depends on how fast the plant is growing, but if you do see roots coming out the bottom, that is generally a sign that you want to repot your plant. Give it some more room to grow. Another sign could be that the plant is tippy. So this is especially true of cacti or aloe plants. You might be moving them to the sink to water and they just fall over, flop out of the pot. That could also be a sign that the plant needs to get repotted. And the third sign is watering. If you feel like you're just watering it all the time and the plant is absorbing a lot of water, drying out quickly, let's say you used to water once a week and now it's every couple of days, that could also be a sign that your plant needs to get repotted. So kind of watch for those 3 things: the roots, the tippiness, extra watering, and if you notice any of those, then now is a good time to repot. So we are going to pot this cute little Oxalis plant. I love these plants because they have a really nice purple foliage and the leaves open during the day and they close at night, so they're kind of fun. And we've selected a pot that's 2 inches bigger. So this is a 2-inch pot. It's going to go into a 4-inch container. And we've selected potting soil because this is a basic foliage plant. And potting soil is a blend of peat moss and vermiculite or perlite, which are the little white volcanic puffed rock in there, and that really helps with the aeration of the soil. It also has some bark in it. So the first thing you're going to do is just put some potting soil in the bottom of the pot. And this pot has a drain hole, so if you want, you can cover it with a little bit of mesh or like a coffee filter or some newspaper, and that way the soil doesn't just run out into the base of the container. If your pot doesn't have a drain hole, you could potentially pot into a larger plastic pot and then set that inside there. But this one does, so we're just going to pot directly in there. And you want to put enough soil in so that when you take your plant out of the pot, it sits just below the lip of the container. So that's about right. And then hold your plant at the base and kind of squeeze the pot to loosen up the roots a little bit so that you can pull it out. And then we're just going to loosen up the roots a little bit. And that's going to help the roots grow down and out into the container. And we're going to fill in the sides of the pot with some fresh potting soil. And the potting soil has fertilizer in it, so you actually won't need to fertilize the plant for a few months. Just kind of press it down, try to get all the holes, make it really snug. All right, so that's about right. It's sitting about 1/2 inch from the top of the pot. And because this is a foliage plant, we're going to give it a really good watering since we just repotted, and that's going to encourage the roots to really spread out and grow down into the pot. So about a cup of water or so, 1/2 cup to a cup. And then you're all set. You can actually leave it in this container for probably a couple years before you're going to need to repot it again, and it's going to be happy and it's ready for the growing season.